Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Theresa here. Just me and the critters. It is February 13th, 2018. It is Tuesday evening. It is 6:40 p.m. And today has gone much, much better than yesterday. So, first, let me do the weather real quick in case you guys are all curious of what the weather is like here in Crawfordville. And if you're wondering, Crawfordville is right below Tallahassee. It is currently 66 degrees, real feel 64. The high was 75 and the low will be 59. It was kind of overcast for a portion of the day, but it's been a beautiful day. So let's go back here. Okay, last night, I don't know if I said, I don't remember what time I did the video, but dinner was a fail. That recipe, I thought was going to be so great. And she made it and turned out great. But I think what it was is I cooked it for too long because my hash browns were now just part of almost a soupy stock. Instead of being this nice hash brown casserole with the cheese and the meat and the vegetables and stuff. It looked like flop. Tasted okay. We did eat some of it with, Brad cooked some eggs, so, yeah, we had that, but the rest of them just gonna feed to the dogs with their dinner tonight. But, you know, not every recipe can be a spot on, you know, an A+. We had a frank talk about my health, Brad and I, as he's noticed that I've been declining. This is part of the reason that Brad and I both were getting very depressed, too, in the RV park, is we knew that I am getting worse, and that we need to do something about it, and we felt like we couldn't until we get moved, because my hernias have gotten a lot worse, and that's caused a lot of other problems. And so we had a frank talk about that, and then Brad did some research with our health insurance, and pinpointed a few doctors, and then I'll tell you about that. But you know, sometimes you just have to have that frank talk about it's getting to the point, you know, that if it gets any worse, I'm going to have to go to the ER. And, you know, I showed him my hernias, and he could see how much larger they were, and everything, and, you know, protruding and stuff. So, yes. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, since, you know, I'm on that topic. So, Brad did some research, and then pinpointed doctor. But today, after a bunch of stuff happened and he was laying down, I couldn't sleep. I got to call that doctor. They weren't taking new patients. So I called a couple other places that weren't. Finally, I got directed to a place that is. So I made an appointment. I have an appointment next Monday, and it's a really great group of doctors. And, well, I'm seeing a nurse practitioner. But you know, they have the general surgeons and then all the specialists right in this whole medical group. So that's awesome. That's exactly what we need. So, and then Brad wants to wait until the 1st of March to see the doctor, because we want to get mine going, because, you know, we feel like it's pretty urgent at this point in time. I'm having, without being too much TMI, I'm having some problems eliminating waste. I still am, but, you know, it's kind of, you know, either full on or, you know, hardly. And then also, I'm having a lot more pain. And so, you know, I assume that probably will go pretty quickly. Is they'll probably want to do surgery pretty quickly and stuff. So, you know, we're preparing for that. So, anyway, I have appointments. And, you know, one thing I really liked last night, because one of the hernias I have is a really big hiatal hernia. They discovered this when they were doing the barium swallow for preparing me for gastric bypass, which did not happen, obviously. Um, you know, but, and I know that happens with a lot of people, you know. And at that time they said, well, we'll fix this when we do your surgery. And then I was thinking about it last night, and I told Brad, I said, you know what? When I was looking up when are the danger signs with hernias, and it was talking about the hiatal hernias and how the stomach can push up through there and can, push on that diaphragm and stuff, and it can cause breathing problems, shortness of breath. Okay, once again, we people that are overweight at all, or aren't in like the optimum fitness or whatever, we blame ourselves for any kind of breathing, any kind of body aches a lot of time. And I have for years complained that I just can't catch my breath. That, and some days it's worse. And that if I'm going for walks and stuff, it isn't necessarily I'm getting tired from the walking, it's I can't breathe. And I thought, well, you dumbass, it's because you're very overweight and because you're really out of shape, which, those two are part of it, but a lot of it is the hiatal hernia too. I can't draw a full breath, but being asthmatic, again, you think, okay, maybe I need to be back on some more asthma drugs instead of just my rescue inhaler, and my nebulizer. That made so much sense. See, years ago, in 2005, when I was going to college for the last time I went to college, I started having a lot of severe heartburn and stuff, and chest pains, and they thought that it was a problem with my heart. And we messed around with that for a good year, and finally was diagnosed, which I do have a mitral valve prolapse, and I do have thickening on the right side of my heart from years of smoking. But they did not ever detect, and part of it, we probably dropped the ball because of financial reasons of discovering the hiatal hernia. We think that's about when it started. Because they had me on nitro for a long time. Anyway, it's going to get sorted out. It makes you mad that when you think that for so many years you haven't had the real medical care you really should have. Medical care shouldn't be just for rich people. And I'm not cutting down. I love doctors. Missy. I love doctors and stuff, and I wouldn't be here without them, and I'm not saying it's the doctors. It's a lot of times it's the insurance and stuff. So anyway, we got that going. So, and then I have in the last 24 hours, the one good thing is if I have to sit down for a while because maybe the part of the hernia is really bulging out, and there's these exercises you can do to kind of, Anyway, I did get 3 hats done in the last 24 hours. So, I got this little guy done. And I really like him, and look, he got a little train on him. But yep, so I got that one done. And I got this one done. And then I got this large adult done. We did some adulting here, see? Look at that. So, yep, I got 3 more hats done. We just kind of relaxed. Let's see. And we went to bed and stuff and got up. Brad woke me up this morning. He was determined. He was very upset about these mattresses not being here and stuff. And so he got up early, and he was sitting out here waiting, and he saw the UPS driver pull up, and he went running out there. And this is what he told me. And it happened to be a guy that he knows that comes into his liquor store, so I'm sure we'll get really good delivery now. But so he woke me up with the mattresses are here, and they were in a box. And the other kind that bed in a box, mattress in a box. And we kind of had fun with that because Brad hadn't ever watched the videos I had of what these mattresses do when you're, cutting the plastic and stuff. And first he was straddling it for a while, cutting, along. And I said, you might not want to do that. And he could hear that some of the springs start and it getting tenser and tenser. And he's like, yeah, I think I'll move. And he got about fourth way down, and it, it started unrolling and just kind of popped and boom. But they're real nice mattresses. Both queen size fit just great in our bedroom with room to spare. Room still to walk around. We've got a couple, it would be, I guess, equal to a medium-sized dresser in there, and my wheelchair's in there. Some other stuff are in there. We did take out the dog kennel because it'll be in the front bedroom anyway. But I'll show you what it looks like. I was really thrilled with them. So anyway, this is what I hope you guys can see that. This is what they look like. That's one of them. They're 2 queen size mattresses. Next, when we can afford it, we're gonna get platforms for them. I know they have them like at Walmart and stuff, but we're just gonna have to wait, a while. The only reason that we would have to suddenly get a platform early would be depending on how fast they're going to want to do surgery. But I guess if I have to, I'll sleep in the recliner. And the only other problem with when I have surgery would be hopefully we can get, we need a couple $100 to do the fencing for the dogs. And that way it wouldn't be a problem for me to be here by myself recovering and letting the dogs out. But if not, Brad and I talked about it probably for a good week or so. He probably would have to come home during mid-shift to do that. Because the problem would be bending over to leash the dog and then having to physically restrain them and stuff. That could be a problem. So, but we'll work it out. I mean, it's just the 2 of us, and we'll figure it out, though. And I'm sure it'll all be fine. And the landlord did show up. Actually, right after Brad woke me up, the landlord did show up. And with the leak, it's a really old trailer that he is going to put another piece of sheet metal over part of it so it drains better or something like that. I don't know. So, it is what it is. And that's about all that's about all that's been going on. Sorry, I have no idea who that was. That's about all that's been going on. I mean, it's all good news. I mean, we're starting to make some headway. I mean, we don't have to have everything go our way, but having a few things go your way is always nice. And, we got the mattresses, real mattresses for the first time in almost 2 years. That's just fantastic. And, they're called the Wolf Orthopedic Back Aid Pillow Top. 9-inch pillow top. It's so comfortable and stuff. Brad took a short nap, and he said his back didn't hurt when he woke up. We got that, and we're in a real place, and we have a real kitchen, and I've been baking and stuff, and this kitchen is just perfect because there is a lot of there's room, and I used a rollator, and so I can even put stuff on the rollator if I want to carry it to another part of the kitchen, and then I have something to sit on while I'm cutting up stuff and everything. So I mean, that's really nice. It's really an easy kitchen to work in. I really love that, and things are coming together. We have something else that we had. That washing machine is such a godsend. I just love that thing. I mean, You know, we decided we're not going to get a countertop ice maker right now. We just really can't afford it. And, you know, it's not something you have to have. And so we're just going to buy a lot of ice cube trays. And I'll just be making a lot of ice. And, you know, you do what you have to do. And as far as the vacuum, I don't know. Let's see how well this stick vacuum works, and then, I don't know, maybe in a few months we can save up for a vacuum cleaner. I don't even care what brand it is. I mean, I would give Dirt Devil another shot. You know, it's like, I'd like it to be an upright bagless, and it doesn't even have to have, like, all the tools on it, because I do have the stick vacs that'll do to have the tools, but, you know, maybe in time, I don't know. But it's all coming together, and I'm very, very grateful. And I know that I don't know what's going on with the RV. I'm letting Brad just handle that, and we'll get whatever we get out of it. And I know that I won't be able to get a vehicle of my own, probably realistically, for at least a couple years, because, you know, surgeries and stuff are expensive. And, but my health comes first, and I'm okay with that. We've been living for quite a while without a second vehicle. You know, once I get feeling better and get back on the diabetic meds and everything, you know, I have some other, medical issues that are going on that we will address. And once we get everything going and stuff, and get infections taken care of and everything, then, you know, am I going to take my health over having another vehicle? I'll take my health. So, you know, that's okay. You know, I know there's only so much you can do on so much of an income and stuff, and I'm not expecting, you know, to live like a princess. You know, I think I live pretty good as it is, especially now. I mean, look, I'm sitting in a recliner, people. That's the other thing. Brad said, you know what, honey? We got recliners, we got mattresses now in a real kitchen. It's like, you're right, you know. So, you know, God is good to us. You know, we feel blessed. So, anyway, I just want to let you guys know. And I am so sorry. I am going to sit down here in a little bit and answer emails and answer comments. If you message me, if you've texted me, if you've emailed me, or you comment and I haven't got to you, please accept my apologies. Last night, I was not feeling good at all, people. And we were debating on whether or not I might have to go to the emergency room. So I just have been a little out of sorts. We knew that I was getting worse, like I said, and that's why we kind of were really rushing and scrambling to get into some kind of housing, because there's just no way I could recover in that RV, you know. So, it's all good. So I hope everybody has a great day. And I got to get a puppy outside. I'm trying to keep her here so she doesn't go off and go to the bathroom somewhere else. But remember, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much. And I think you guys are awesome. And I will talk to you tomorrow, okay? Bye.